everybody, welcome to Bones Collector. Today on Bones Collector we're continuing our series where Lori and I are playing our way through our board gaming library. So we're going to play a couple of games, 2 or 3 games each week, and make a video about it and pass it on to you, and I hope you enjoy them. Hey everybody, we just got done playing Point Salad, and Point Salad is one of our little filler short games that we keep in our library for times when we want to just play a game because we're either tired or in a hurry. And Point Salad fits the bill. It came out in 2019, 2 to 6 players. It's by a group of designers named Molly Johnson, Robert Melvin, and Sean Stankiewicz. I hope I say his name correctly. This is a set collection and contract fulfillment game. The most points wins, and it's just fast, and it's cute, and it's wonderful. This isn't a game that's about fantastic artwork. It's not about long-term strategy. It's not about having some great big gaming experience that you're going to remember forever. It's about having fun, and that's what board gaming for us is all about. And this, I'll show you the box. It's just a tiny little, small box, and it's got a place in here for the two decks of cards. And depending on the player count, it has it scales to how many cards you're going to use in the game. And that being said, we played it with the wrong number of cards quite a few times. We had too many cards in the deck, but it was great. So I told Lori, you can choose to play this with as many cards as you want at whatever player count.
It just took us a little longer.
Just takes a little longer, or it goes a little quicker if you have fewer cards. But I think you use 36 cards as suggested in a 2-player game. We printed this Point Salad scoring sheet off of Board Game Geek, because we always do that, and Lori laminates them, and then we use a dry erase marker to keep our score. And I always tell you guys about that because that way you don't, if you have a huge scoring pad that comes in any board game, you just laminate one of them and use a dry erase marker, and you're not throwing those sheets away and wasting them. So this is by AEG, and we can play this game with the 36 card deck in probably 5 to 8 minutes. I mean, it goes very quickly. And the game simply works like this. You're going to take either 2 cards from these rows or one single contract from the 3 piles. And once you've taken 2 cards from this row, then you replenish from the pile of cards that are above it. So if you were to do this kind of thing, you would replenish 1 from this deck, 1 from this deck. And then, when you're doing that and collecting those cards, especially in a 2-player game with 36 cards, you're going to want to stare at these contracts and decide very quickly where you're going, because you can't wait too long. And that is the crunch of this little puzzle, is you want to collect cards that are going to score and grab contracts that are going to score the cards that you're taking. So it's just a balancing act, a juggling act. And we've loved this ever since we played it. If you scan down through my videos, I probably should, I don't know if I could put a link on the, can you do that? I unboxed this game on a plane. Did we buy it here and take it to Florida? What was it?
I think we bought it there. I don't remember, actually.
I don't remember.
Were
we flying to Ohio? I think we were flying to Ohio.
I don't know where we were flying. We'll have to check.
We were flying to Ohio. We were on a plane. I had this game, and I told Lori, hey, get your phone out. I'm going to unbox Point Salad. So I did it. I unboxed Point Salad on an airplane. And when we got it home and played it, I was in love with it. But this is just Point Salad. It's exactly what it is. You're just trying to score points, as many as you can, as fast as you can, and it's just a gas, and I want to tell you about it. I don't think this game will ever get rid of. I think, what did we play the other night? We played something a little bigger. Oh, Tikal. We played Tikal back to back.
Twice.
Yeah, so we had 3 hours into that game, and I said, hey, get out Point Salad, and let's just get something light going. Because once you are thinking heavy, once you think hard in a board game, and Tikal's not that hard, but it was, like I say, 3 hours. So when you play it twice, so we wanted to get something just to lighten the evening before we retired for the night, and we got out Point Salad.
Calm your brain down.
And unwound a little bit playing Point Salad because it's fun. And I can recommend this game highly to anybody that just likes to have fun. So yeah, if you like to have fun, this is a great game, you guys. And one of our Games of the Week video series where we'll lump some of these little games together. So yeah, that's Point Salad. Hey guys, we're continuing playing some of our little games that we keep in our library for various reasons. This is called Mr. Jack Pocket, and Mr. Jack Pocket came out in 2010. And I think original Mr. Jack came out in 2006.
That's correct.
I need to write that down. Mr. Jack Pocket 2010. This is a game of deduction. Now, deduction games are my least favorite mechanism in board gaming, and, right along with hidden movement. For whatever reason, I just find them difficult. So I don't really have a lot of fun with them, and we don't have any deduction games. Now we play. That being said, I like Tobago because that's a different type of deduction that I really enjoy. But overall, I really don't care for deduction games. But Lori does like them, and she got this little Mr. Jack Pocket game, and we've taken it to the airport and played it in the airport when we're waiting on a flight or something, because we really enjoy having a game with us that's small and portable and passes the time. And Mr. Jack fits the bill. Now in Mr. Jack, it's a 2-player only game, and like I said, it is a game of deduction, and the winning conditions are these. 1 player is Mr. Jack, 1 player is the investigators. If you are Mr. Jack, you want to stay hidden and collect 6 hourglasses. If you can collect 6 hourglasses, you win the game. If you are the investigators, you want to find which character of the alibi cards Mr. Jack is. So he's one of these 9 characters that you see laid out on these tiles. And there's roads on these tiles. Those roads? Yeah. These are alleys or roads on the tiles, and the roads or alleys allow you those characters to be seen if they happen to be through their go through their picture. These are time tokens, like I said before. These are the investigator tokens, 3 of them that you use, and then you also have 4 action tokens. And the action tokens are double-sided, and to start the game out, you're going to simply flip them, and blah, and then that's the way you're going to start the game, with those action tokens laid out like that. Then the first player will take one of the action tokens and take the action. The next player, the other player, will do second and third choice on the action tokens, and the first player will again take the last, what's left over, and take that action. Now these action tokens do various things that allow you to spin these tiles. They allow you to switch tiles positions, move the investigators so they can see down the alleyways to see if they can see the suspects, and
Take an alibi card.
And take an alibi card. That was the one I couldn't think of. Thank you. And take an alibi card. So that is what the action tokens are going to allow you to do. So it's very simple, and you're going to be moving these around. If you're Mr. Jack, you're trying to stay hidden. You want to turn those tiles and look and see where the investigators are, and make sure that they can't see down the alleyway and see who you are. Because once they can see you, once the round ends, and if one of these investigators can see who you are, your character, then you've lost the game. Now that being said, I mean, you can do a little bluffing in this game. You want to make sure that, if it's obvious, if you turn a tile that's the guy, then your investigator is going to know. The investigators are going to know, well, geez, they must not want me to see that character. Sometimes you have to do that, but sometimes it pays off to bluff. So there's a little bit of bluffing in this game. And there's one other thing I wanted to add is when these investigators end up looking down the alleyways, all the people that they can see in the row at the end of the round are going to be flipped over. So that's going to eliminate some suspects, as long as Mr. Jack can't be seen. I should mention that. Whoever Mr. Jack, whichever character Mr. Jack is. So you turn these over, and that kind of whittles the field down a little bit for the investigators. And it makes it a little tougher on Mr. Jack to stay hidden. So Mr. Jack is obviously one of these characters because they can't be seen. So you're just jockeying these investigators around if you're the investigator and Mr. Jack. I mean, if this were the character that was Mr. Jack and you took the Holmes token for a movement, then you would want to go 1, 2 and move him by that tile, because that way he can't go backwards. These have to move clockwise around this grid, and so Mr. Jack could not move that backwards by taking another tile. And there is another tile in here that would allow him to move Holmes. Oh, he would be able to move him backwards.
Not
no, he
backwards,
can't move backwards.
one space.
Oh, yeah. So there is
One
another
space
tile
forward.
that would allow him to move Holmes, but he has to move clockwise. So you've avoided being detected for another turn at least. So that's the way this game works. It's pretty easy and it's pretty portable. So we enjoy those two things about it. and we have fun playing it, and that's Mr. Jack Pocket. And there is a big version, Mr. Jack. We haven't played it. We're going to seek it out at our next convention, see if we can't get it to the table and play it and see what we think of it. But this little pocket version is fun, and again, it's a little deduction. I don't know if I would like a great big deduction game. I haven't found one yet that I do, but this one's pretty cool, and that's why we hang on to it, Mr. Jack Pocket. Hey everybody, welcome to Bones Collector, and today we're continuing our series of little games that we keep in our library for specific situations like traveling or filler games or party games. And today we're going to talk about a party game called Skull. Now Skull came out in 2011, designed by Hervé Marly. It's a bluffing and bidding game, and it does have player elimination. And we keep it because it's kind of a party game. And it is the only player elimination game in our library, actually.
I think
so. Because we don't like that. But this goes fast, and when you're eliminated,
you're still yelling at other people.
Yeah, you're still
cheering and.
So I mean, it's a type of setting where it doesn't hurt to get eliminated because it happens.
You're not eliminated for long.
Yeah.
And the game will start back over. So.
But anyway, 6 players. You can see 6 mats, and each mat has 4 big tokens on it. These are beer coasters.
They started out as beer coasters.
Yeah.
That's how this game originated, I think.
In a bar or something. I'm sure some guys with too many beers in them created this game. But we have 6 players that are available here. They each have 4 tokens on their mat. You're going to have flowers on 3 of them, and on one of the mats there'll be a skull. So each one of these stacks has 3 flowers and a skull in each stack. So the skull is what you got to watch out for. And the way this game begins is one player you have to keep these in your hand, and you're kind of fiddling around with them because you don't want people to know what you're going to play. So you got to play one token down to start the game, and everybody
face down, nobody can see.
Face down, so nobody can see it, and everybody has to play 1 token down. Now it can be a skull, it can be a flower. So you have to make that decision right away.
There we go.
And you don't want anybody to know what you're doing, what you're thinking. So it's kind of a bluffing thing. And then the first player, after everybody is putting down 1 token, will start the bidding or put down a token. So I can put down another token. Now, if I put down my skull, let's say, the next player will put down a token and they will start the bidding.
No, I can't put down a token if I start the bid. You
you
do
can't?
one or the other.
Oh, okay.
So if I put down a token, then we'll come to this guy, and he'll say, well, he has a skull down here.
He can start bidding?
He would, but he has a skull, so he probably wouldn't start bidding.
But he might.
But he might. Okay, so I'll bluff, and I'll say 1.
Well, you say 2, though, wouldn't you?
You're right.
Yeah.
I would say 2. You have to start with 2. We're not doing very well.
No.
This game's hard to explain.
It is hard to explain.
So I would say 2. Now that means I can find 2 tiles in here that are not skulls.
Yes, and no one's going to let her get away with that. Let's
Hopefully,
get that. Yeah.
because if they do, and I have to turn this over, it's a skull. I've eliminated myself, which means I'm bluffing.
Yeah, and she's bluffing and you want to do that because you want to get that bidding up. And so she would say 2, knowing nobody's going to let her get away with that because nobody gets to a free pass in this game. So then somebody is eventually going to say, okay.
So this person would probably say 3.
3, yeah, and they couldn't put down a.
No, they can't put down it. They already have 1 down from the first turn.
So it's already bidding. I mean,
so we're bidding. Yeah. So I said 2. He said 3.
Yeah.
And even if everybody passed, okay, now it's back to the guy that I said 2. Well, I don't want it.
Yeah.
So I'll let him have it for 3.
Yeah. Everybody, whoever bids the highest, is going to have to perform to that level. In other words, they're going to have to turn over however many they bid of these tokens, these big tokens that have to be flowers. As soon as they hit a skull, they have to lose one of these tokens. And do they select it or?
So this guy bid 3.
Yeah.
He has to turn over his own. So if it's a skull, you're already out. But he has a flower. Now he might call on me because I started the bid, so he'll assume I have a flower. Maybe.
Maybe.
Well, I have a skull, so he loses. So he takes his 4 tiles, holds them out to me, and I pick one. Don't look at it. I'm not allowed to look at it.
And it goes back in the box.
And it goes back in the box. Now, we don't know. Did he just lose his skull? Or did he lose a flower?
Yeah, you have no way of knowing. And we've played this game so many times, and there's times you will be down to your skull. I mean, you've had nothing but your. And once people know what you've got,
Once people know you only have your skull, then you might as well
they're
stop.
going to eliminate
But,
you.
yeah.
Yeah. Or if they know you've got a flower,
Yeah.
you're going to get You're just going to get beat. So what you have to try and stay in the game for as long as you can, because the person that wins 2 rounds, in other words, if you've bid and you've
And you win a round.
successfully done it twice, you're going to win the game.
When you win it first, you turn this.
You turn your mat over, and then the second time you win. Okay, and then also you can win by being the last man standing.
Last man standing.
And that happens also. But it's a fun game, and we enjoy it and keep it when we have people staying with us from out of town and they don't play a lot of board games, or if we just want to get a quick game in and you're having a glass of wine with your some appetizers.
Yeah.
And I don't care if people glom this up with little cheese or whatever. So I don't want to get out one of my $150 board games and have people eating and drinking around them.
This one we don't care.
Yeah, this one we don't care. I don't care what they do this game, but it's a lot of fun. And there's more to it than you imagine. It took me a while to figure out how to play this game because
It's so simple, but
Yeah.
it's hard to get your head around how you do it. Yeah.
and you want to bluff and you want to know when to play your skull. Should you play it? I mean, should you make a bid early? Should you wait until people put more tokens down? I mean, there's some thought process that goes into it, and some people are really good at this and win a lot.
Yeah.
So it's pretty amazing how that can happen.
Well, we wrote it down. You and your sister won the last. You won one, and your sister won one the last time.
And I think Dan's won this quite a few times.
Yeah.
My brother-in-law.
Yeah.
He's pretty good at this, and he's crazy. He'll
Yeah.
bid on anything.
He'll run it up to 7.
Yeah, he's nutty in a fruitcake, man. I don't know how and he'll do it, and he'll like turn them all over. I'm like, how do you do
But the
that?
only time you get caught is if you played your skull and somehow that bid gets back to you,
Yeah.
and you have to turn them over. Then you get to choose. When you do that, when you eliminate yourself, you get to choose which one of your tiles you lose.
Yeah.
You get to pick when you've
So
eliminated
yeah, if you
yourself.
win the bid and you've got your tokens down, if you have 2 tokens down, you have to turn them both over. So you better have 2 flowers.
Yeah, if one of them's a skull,
Yeah.
then you just.
If you won
know.
the bid, and you better have
Yep.
your 2 flowers.
But
And
it
if you-
happens the other way.
Yeah.
If you're bluffing and they call your bluff,
And if you bid 5, then you've got a jump because you got 2 already, and then you just pick it randomly the other players. Well, Sally over there, she looks like she has an honest face. Turn one of yours over, your top one over.
Yeah.
And that's the way this game works.
yeah.
You just pick
you
somebody.
can pick who
Yeah.
to turn. Yeah, yeah. it
Or
doesn't
you
go
can
in
pick
order
them
or
and say,
anything.
you turn 2 over.
Yeah.
You can do that too.
Yeah.
Pick a player, turn 2 of them over if you know if you think that player has 2 flowers, so
Yeah.
that kind of thing. But it's a fun game, man. But and it's inexpensive as the dickens, as you can see.
It was hard.
But it's hard
to get
to-
your head around how to play
We
it.
had to play it for quite a while before you figure out how to get a feel,
Yeah.
not only for the game, but the players that you're playing with,
Yeah,
because that
yeah.
can change it
That
too.
makes a difference.
And
yes.
because the way they react to the game and the way they want to take it, maybe they're conservative or maybe they want to take a chance and they're rebels. So once you get a feel for the people you're playing with and how to play the game,
And you're
it's
saying,
a
no,
lot
I
of
don't
fun.
trust you. I'm not asking to see yours. I don't trust you. I'll look at his.
But yeah, that is Skull, and we keep it in our library when we have people over.
And it requires 3, so we can't play it by ourselves. It requires 3 players.
Plays 3 to 6, so yeah, it's a great party game. If you got friends over and you want to have a good time, Skull's one of those ways you can do that.
And the art on it. The art on these skulls is pretty cool.
Yep. Pretty neat. Thank you for watching. Hey everybody, welcome to Bones Collector, and Lori and I just got done playing Splendor 5 times. Because that's what you do when you play Splendor. But hey, this is what it looks like in the box. It's a simple engine building game, and the first person to 15 points wins. I love this game. It's a race, and you're trying to build your engine to get those 15 points as fast as you possibly can. And it's such a simple game. Just enjoyable to get out sometimes and play. It came out in 2014. It was designed by Marc Andre for 2 to 4 players, no solo variant. And I don't know, there's something about it. I think they got another version now, Marvel or something like that. I'm not interested in that. I'm all Marvel to death. But I love this version. I love the art and the theme of this particular edition. And it's so simple to play and so simple to set up. You have these decks of cards. Let me show you real quick. If you haven't played Splendor, if you don't have Splendor, man, you need to think about getting a copy. There we go. And oops, let's do it this way. Yeah. So we'd be setting it up over here, and in a 2-player game, you just lay out 4 of these cards like this. Create your market. That's level 3 cards, and it has dots on them. If you haven't played Splendor, but they have dots on them to tell you what level deck the cards go in. Plus, they're different colors. So you just do this, do this, do this. There we go. And these are kind of goofy because probably from us playing, but we got 3 diamonds there. And then you take the nobles, and you get more than you need. In a 2-player game, you're only going to use 3 of them, and in a 4-player game, 3 and 4-player game, you'd use 4 of them. So you just pick 3 of those nobles, stick them up here like this, and when you can, then you put the rest back in the box. And you're going to take these wonderful poker chips and set them out, and you take out 3 of each for a 2-player game. So I leave those in the box, 3 of each color. Da, 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 da. There, we're ready to play Splendor. How cool is that? You know, and you want to play a game like this sometimes. I mean, there's days when we go visit Lori's dad, and it's 100 miles in the car, and when we get home, we're so exhausted that we don't want to set up anything big and difficult. We want to play something fun. We want to have some fun gaming. And so this type of game to have in your library is wonderful. Now simply what you want to do in this game is you're building an engine, so you want to purchase these cards, and they all have gem requirements on them, and you can see them on this card right here. This takes a diamond, a sapphire, a ruby, and whatever that chocolate chunk is, an onyx or something like that. I forget what it is.
Black onyx.
Black onyx. And so you would need 2 of those, and 1 ruby, 1 sapphire, and the diamond. We need 1 of those. So once you pay for those with chips, you can take this card, and now you've got a green chip permanently in your engine. So the way the game starts, you can take 3 chips. In any combination, you can take 3 chips, or you can take 2 of one color, but you have to be able, when you take 2, you have to leave 2 behind. So if there was only 3 in that stack, I couldn't take 2. There has to be 2 left when you take 2. Then you have a choice if you want to take a gold chip, and what you do with that is reserve a card. So maybe there's a card up here, and we've built a little bit of our engine. There's a card up here I really want. I'm 1 chip away from completing this card for 3 points, and 3 and 4 point cards in this game is huge when you're only going to 15 points. So I'm only 1 chip away from completing that. I don't have it right now. You know what I'm going to do on my turn? I'm going to take this gold, and I'm going to put it on this card and set it to the side. You can do that, I think, 2 or 3 times, right? 2.
Might be 3.
3 times, and I think 3 times, and reserve that card. And then when it comes my turn again, this gold chip is now wild, and I can maybe complete this card. So I want to reserve that. So that's what you do with these gold ones, because they are wild. And that's it. Yeah, that's it. And as you build your engine, you're going to end up with different color cards, and once you start stacking them up, you know, you got an emerald there and a diamond. Now you don't need those anymore, so that when you're trying to complete one of these cards for points, you've already got the 1 diamond. You need 4 sapphires and 2 emeralds in order to complete this card. So you would have to do that with chips, and that's why you keep building up your engine. So as the game goes on, you'll be taking some of these cards for free. You say, oh, well, I've got my engine so built, I've got every one of these, so I'll take this card. That's my turn. And then you just supplement that with the chips as you go. Very simple game, lots of fun. Lori and I have kept this for so many years now. It's getting this game is it's pretty worn. But we play it. When you get it out, you're going to play it 5 or 10 times because you can just keep going. It's fun. And I didn't mention the nobles, but the 3 nobles, you get 3 points for each one of them, and you see the gem values that you have to satisfy in order to take them. But yeah, 15 points wins the game. The game ends when somebody hits 15. Boom. And I like those kinds of racing games. But that's Splendor. I want to tell you about it. We included it in our small games video because it's kind of a quick filler. I guess some people would call it a filler game, but I never grow tired of it, and I'm always going to keep it, and I'm always going to play it. And that's Splendor by Marc-Andre. See you later. Okay, everybody, that was a couple of games out of our library that we wanted to share with you. These videos probably don't come out as often or as frequent as I would like them to because we're very busy. We have lives that we continue on with, and with grandchildren and so forth, and children that we have, and so we're very busy in that regard, like you guys are. And I don't ask for money. I don't get paid for this at all. Lori and I just do this because we want to share our passion. The only payday that I get is when you comment on the videos. That's my payday. That's the type of things I really like that make me feel good. It goes way beyond a monetary reward. And thank you for those comments, and please keep them coming. We'll try to get back to you as often as we possibly can. I love every one of you guys. And always remember to keep on board gaming. It's the best hobby on the planet. Bye-bye.